We have just checked Maryland court calendar to make sure Ma Ngang, aka General Ma Ngang, General Nkata, will be appearing today for her sentencing. She is scheduled to appear in court at 11 a.m. Maryland time, which is 4 p.m. Cameroon time. Judge Barnett courtroom is room 5 at the Baltimore District Court. Today, once upon a time, this Shumbu called herself a government minister under Ayok Tabe Facebook. Edith make a video where she was manufacturing 50 caliber. My country, I don't think they probably pay these people to.
This is the right to freedom. This is the right to freedom, right here.
Blacklist must shame, because our God must guide you through the evil forest. One spirit.
This thing is more political than legal now.
We're heading to the court, the district court in Baltimore, Maryland, USA.
So this is downtown Baltimore. So Ma Ngang is heading in the next 2 hours. Everything will be out, is it?
We are about to obtain the freedom, a symbolic day for Amazonian's queen in the liberation movement, who is no other than Madame Edith, also known as Ma Ngang, the queen mother of Amazonia.
So this looks like the baptism by fire, would you say?
I would say that it is the baptism by fire and lava. Very intense.
And what comes out of that once it's forged?
Oh.
Is it iron or fluff?
What comes out of that is iron.
Well, I'm confident, and I, hope my mom the judges can, be graceful, and, see that my mom is, just trying to help her people. Mom, I know that you're a strong woman, and that
This is the United States Courthouse.
that you can overcome a lot of things, and the judge will see that too.
Miss that? No, after.
best for Ma Ngang. She's our hero. You can't film in here.
Someone's calling me.
Hey, Uncle, do you want to get in trouble?
The process in the courtroom was simple. The judge started by stating that Edith Gang had pleaded guilty as charged. And what were the charges? There were 1, conspiracy to commit certain offenses against the United States, to knowingly and willfully export and attempt to export from the U.S. to Nigeria ammunition, firearms, and various other items of defense articles. Charge 2, they actually did the act without obtaining a license or disclosing the true content of the shipment to the overseas carrier or the United States authorities. Those were the 2 charges Edith was charged with. For that, she will get 46 months in a minimum federal detention center. The minimum was 46 months and the maximum was 57 months. And Edith's lawyer stood, and his goal was to bring it down so that Edith doesn't do any time. Maybe a suspended sentence or something like that. And so he argued that Edith was not as involved in this crime as the others were, because she had been kicked out of the group. And she didn't participate in buying firearms and all that. Now, with that assertion and with that request, the prosecutor stood up and she totally rejected that. She said Edith was very, very involved, and that even though Edith was kicked out of the group, that she remained very, very committed to the project and was communicating with the leader of the group, and that they did that on a daily basis, and that Edith became a conduit outside of the group, and she did a lot of work, and she got updates, and she passed on information, and they worked with codes, and so and that Edith provided the container. And also a Toyota truck that was in the container where some of the ammunitions were loaded. And so she argued that she was way more involved than can be imagined. In fact, she almost put Edith as part of the leadership or the brain behind the whole thing. Now, it was time for Edith to speak. So Edith stood up. When she stood up, she introduced herself. She talked about her accomplishments, that she started a business. It's a business that takes care of sick people and some very vulnerable people in society. And that when she was providing the service, there were times that some of these people were being discriminated, and she had to fight the city of St. Louis Park in Minnesota and change the law so that these people should not be discriminated. And that's a business that she's been doing for 23 years. Employed a lot of Americans in those 23 years. She says she is obviously an immigrant who is an American citizen, cares about America a lot, but also cares about her country of origin, Amazonia. And she said she witnessed what was going on in Cameroon, the killing, and people running into Nigeria, IDPs all over the place suffering for absolutely no reason, and that she saw some of these people and just couldn't accept that that's the way people should be treated, and so she got involved, and that yes, she committed a crime, she violated American law, but that was not her intention. Her intention was to help the people that she saw in Nigerian villages and some of the IDPs, and wanted to take care of them, wanted to help them, wanted to stop that whole situation. And that was the purpose of her getting involved in the project. It was not to violate American laws. And then towards the end, she talked about how in Africa, when African women cannot get attention for what bothers them, they naked themselves in public. And that her getting involved in a situation where it violated the law was her own way of nakeding herself in public for the plight of the Ambazonians who are suffering all over the world, in Nigeria and in Cameroon, punished by Paul Biya and the French. That was basically what she said. I can tell you that I'm not doing justice on what she said in court by trying to narrate it, because the way she spoke, the court was spellbound. It got to a point where even the judge could not look at her face, because she went straight to the judge and said, "You, the judge, yes, you can apply the law, and I will, and I do accept that I violated, but you do have the right. You do have the power to not make me spend time in jail, because if I spend time in jail, they will be suffering with the refugees. They will be suffering with all kinds of other things that she is engaged with. She's engaged in, which is more useful, is a better use of her than locking her up in jail." I mean, like I said, I'm not doing justice in trying to narrate what her presentation in court, because it was a very, very powerful presentation. The judge came back and said some of what she's talking about, and people can do something about it, is Congress and is the executive. They are the judiciary, and it is not their place. They can't do anything about that. And after saying that, he went forward and told Edith that she would do, she's going to do the minimum, which is the 46 months. He's going to try to see if there's a place, a federal prison, which is closer to her home, where she can live in Minnesota, where she can stay in Minnesota. And that's basically a very quick summary of what happened in court. Edith has until June 21st to show up and start serving her time. And that's where the court session ended.
Wherever they're going to go, Father Lord, let their presence speak for our country in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. To you, oh Father, be all the glory in Jesus' name. Amen.
So we just came out of the courthouse.
Yes.
How do you feel?
I feel good.
Tell me more.
Well, it's been how many years? 4 years of waiting and waiting and waiting. Now I know, and I feel good, because whatever judgment has been passed to the glory of our people. I had an opportunity in the American court justice system to express, to represent our people and make them understand that they are not a forgotten people. We will go through thick and thin to represent them. So that's why I say I feel good.
Have there been any free people in the world who did not pay a price for it?
I haven't seen them yet. Nelson Mandela was 27 years. I'm not even being given anything close to that. Who else? There are so many people. And besides, the way I know it, the people that made America what they are were people who sent guns to their people, fought the British, violated all kinds of rules, treasonous rules, and all of these things to make their country what it is today that we all are benefiting from. Whatever has happened in the American courts is not anything that has helped the mess that we call Cameroon to come clean and start functioning like a state.
So that's quite a statement of defiance.
Oh, Uncle, what do you think? My statement of defiance is consistent with what a nation like Cameroon should get. A nation that their leadership seat has been hijacked by thugs or zombies roaming around, sucking the blood off of their youth and disgracing everybody that is from that part of the country. All over the world, they've lost their minds, Uncle. They lost their minds. So I am a proud mother, a proud woman, that I stood up to my, and felt the pain of our people and expressed it to the highest level that I can.
Yes, you said that in court. And
incidentally, whatever tears I shed are the tears when I remember the starving children in the villages in Nigeria who ran and traveled for a whole week to cross the forest and then end up malnourished to the point they can't even eat. You understand? So all these things are very alive in my memory. So when I was in the court there and I was talking to the judge, I just could imagine all these things, and yet the thugs who have made a mess, who've made a beautiful country to become a curse, are still running loose. Running loose, doing nothing for themselves and nothing for the people. So my indictment, my sentences has not changed a single thing in Cameroon. They are as confused and messed up as they will stay.
Has it done anything to the Ambazonian struggle, though?
Of course, Uncle. Of course. The mere fact that we started off where Cameroon went around telling people it's one and indivisible nation, it's one and indivisible nation, to where we are today, where we've been able to pass 2 bills, we've been able to expose them by sustaining the fight to the point where the whole world now knows about Amazonia. Remember when we started, everything was a taboo. The name Amazonia was a taboo. Today, they refer to us as Amazonia. Only they are trying to make that word look like it's a negative word. Nobody has ever approved that nonsense. They call us terrorists all day, every time they have a chance. Who has referred to us as terrorists? The person knows they will lose. Any nation referring to the Amazonians as terrorists know they're going to lose their credibility. Why? Because Cameroon started the terrorism. People came out with branches, and what did they do? Took a helicopter gunship and shot the uncle.
Just be going.
Sorry.
I mean,
minor distraction. So they took helicopter gunships and started killing citizens with. They seem to think that that's what states do to their citizens, to show power, to not listen to them. And where has that taken them to? Right now, what's happening is their own people are dying. Their young men that they've sent are dying. They are gagging the families not to say anything, not to send out any picture. Now, we as Amazonians, we are crying our own and releasing the stress and the trauma, while their own people are traumatized and they're hiding it. Who is losing?
So let me come back to this again, though. What do you think this does to the struggle in terms of, because Cameroon is happy and they think that this is something in favor of them or something good, and I think there were Cameroon agents in there, because there was a guy who was there who just listened, and once they gave the judgment he walked out. So it sounded like he came just to monitor that and then leave. So is this a positive for them?
Okay. Like I said before, whether I'm jailed or I'm not, the message has been put out there. The spirit is in our people. Our people are a people that have made it clear to Cameroon and to the world that we are not going to accept slavery. We made that clear.
So this is not a victory for La République du Cameroun.
I don't see how it's a victory. I'm just one person. They are angry because their strategy has been to use fear and to use the fact that they are winning. They claim they are winning because every place has gone silent, and I made sure they understand they were not winning. And so for that reason, they seem to think that they have to use me as a thing to proclaim their victory.
No, but this is part of development. I mean, you can't jump without going down a little bit.
Of course.
So I think they've been stagnant and they're all prisoners in that place. And the whole thing is that I don't think this is a victory for them. I think it only because if you look at the path, like you just mentioned about the British, if you look at the path of great nations, they went through this, and their patriots went through this.
And they know that. They know that they when you are a people, you decide that you're going to fight against evil. Is the beginning of your victory.
Yes. All right. Well, I just wanted to see how you feel in a day when some are celebrating.
I'm fine.
And some are
fine.
and some are crying.
Yes.
Because of the verdict, but I don't think you see it as
No, I did my best to present our people exactly what they are suffering. I did my best to make sure the judge understood what is it that is happening to our people. So,
and in response, the judge said that you made an appeal which is more appropriate for the Senate and the President, and that is not for the court to address that particular situation. So what do you say about that?
Well, what can I say, Uncle? America has their priorities, and their priorities are that they don't make permanent friends and they don't make permanent enemies. So they are going to go based on what their, how do you call it?
Well, this is the judiciary branch.
Yes. Well, they said that they go based on what their State Department advises them. So I'm not in the State Department. I'm not friends with them. So they couldn't.
Well, I think what I'm trying to say, I think this is a call for Congress and for the executive branch to get involved in something which is a case of justice.
We've been doing that. I stated clearly the actions we did going through those methods. They like to send us through those methods because it stretches and it takes forever, and they're hoping that you fall on the wayside and all of that. Otherwise, what is that appropriate response to immediate killing of people? It's not. I didn't think it was, because if it was, I already did those things. It did not help. It's still killing our people. So America needs to, at some point in time, reassess what they are really doing as far as these nations that they have, by means of policy, allowed to be subjugated. So they need to decide what they want to be doing. That. But as far as I am, I'm a person that I will not look at evil and walk away. I will look at evil and address it to the best of my ability, knowing that there are consequences. That's all I'm going to say.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. How are you? You're all right. You grow up in those few years. Mom will take a break from you people for a little bit. It's okay. I'm all right. Yeah, I'm fine. You know I'm fine. We are okay. You guys will handle. You see, this is an opportunity for you guys to learn what lead us. Because what is something, yeah, you gotta, you see, I always look at the good side of things. I always look at the good side of things. Because sometimes because I'm there, you people are not doing what you're supposed to do. You try, but you're not trying enough because by now you should know how to run that business. Are you seeing what I'm saying? Uncle Lee should be advising you about it. So for me, this is an opportunity. It's a blessing because I know that my children will soon realize that mom is not here. So we need to get in there and make sure what I have established doesn't go in vain. You see, there's no better way I could have told you I done this than this. So for me, nothing that happens to me is ever a bad thing. This is a good thing. Vacation for how many years, Uncle? Oh, the books I didn't write, I wanted to write, I will be able to write them, right? I can sleep. Oh, this fat, by the time I come back, there will be no fat. Can you imagine? I'm already counting the many things I can do in those 2 years. Get to be other people's, you know, I always will make a community wherever I'm put. So that's another opportunity. Everything is an opportunity. Everything is an opportunity. This is an opportunity. And Uncle, think about it. I'm one of the blessed, the most blessed. Oh yes, the most blessed. That we're going to get into the light soon.
No, keep coming.
Okay,
that's
the
all right.
most blessed person I am. Why am I saying these things? Uncle, of all the people in our group, I have a business that fits me, that was set up years ago to operate whether I am or I'm not. The judge was very gracious. He says he's not going to fine me. He's going to recommend you know, those are terminologies to be able to give you a break on the whole matter. So the psychological evaluation is a way that he will allow you to be able to have some time off. You understand? So I understood all of that. I mean, what psychological? Of course, it's dramatic for you to watch the court system the way it is, being that you are a person that has never committed a crime before, I've never entered those corridors. So for me, I am having a blast. I am looking at all the good things that will happen. So anyway, also, you are the best.
Thank you.
All right.
want to end this show by reading a statement produced by Siseko Julius Ayok-Tabe. It was a statement that is very appropriate for the time and emphasized the right things. We are in this together. Message of support to Ma Ngang, Eric Fru, Ernest Bangari, Wilson Tita, and all Ambazonians being incarcerated. Dear sisters, brothers, and others, thank you for your commitment and determination. Remain resilient. What determination and commitment cannot obtain, consistent resilience would achieve. We shall achieve and lay the foundation of our nation, Ambazonia. The price to pay to be called the founding generation is blood, tears, and whole lives. Our blood is being shed, our tears are flowing, and our people are killed daily. We are sick and tired of being sick and tired of the pain our people have had to endure since 1961. This pain will stop, and the freedom of our nation will come. Rejoice when people persecute you for fighting for the freedom of your people. So much of life depends on how we react to adversities. The weak crumble, the strong walk tall. You are strong. There are times when we must learn to bite more than we can chew. Eat and swallow even that which is bitter for the survival of the body and the greater interest of our people. You are called to duty for your people. The good times you put in your pocket. The tough times you put in your heart. This time, as trying as it is passing. Tough times do not last. Tough people do. You will outlast, outsee, and outshine this moment. We will meet and celebrate on the other side of our various prisons as we join to build Ambazonia. Our forebears reluctantly accepted a seat at the table with La République du Cameroon. In times, La République du Cameroon claimed the entire table, reducing us to crumbs. Now we rightfully demand our own table. With determination, courage, commitment, and consistent resilience, we are getting it. Today's cloud will give way to the sunshine of tomorrow. We are enduring the pain so as to celebrate the inevitable victory. This journey is riddled with complications through the wilderness, prisons, deserts, storms, and thunders. The greater the trial, the sweeter the testimonies. Our testimonies will be the sweetest. No price we pay is comparable to that which will be bequeathed to the future generations of Ambazonians. We shall overcome. Siseko Ayok-Tabe, Monday, 24th of April, 2023.